What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today we have the August 2022 Great Plains International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. I am so excited to dive into this brand new airport, and I hope you guys are as well. Welcome to Great Plains International Airport, guys. It is so exciting to be here, and today we have the very first update of this brand new fictional model airport. Be sure to check out episode 0 for all the background information and the announcement of this airport, because there is a ton to dive into there, and that was a nice video to explain all that. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. But you guys already know the drill. You guys know what this airport's all about. I'm super excited to dive into it, and I hope you guys are as well. This is going to be absolutely awesome, and I'm so excited about this brand new fictional model airport. I hope you guys are as well, and with all that being said, let's get started. We're going to start over here at the Terminal A satellite. As you guys know, the terminal was constructed in 2010, and we have several beautiful American Airlines aircraft to get started with today. So with all that being said, let's get started. We're going to start over here with the Alaska gates over here at the A1 and A3, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to the format, so I apologize. But beginning up there on top, we have the Alaska Embraer ERJ-175 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Boise, Idaho. He's going to have a continuing service today out to San Francisco, California. And then at A3, we have the Alaska Boeing 737-900ER in the One World livery. This guy's currently coming in from Seattle, Tacoma, and he'll have a continuing service today out to Portland, Oregon, double daily for both those. Keep in mind this airport is based in Kansas City, so routes are all realistic to there as well. Next in line right here, we have the American Airlines Airbus A321 to start this magnitude of American Airlines aircraft. Keep in mind it's fictional, so you see all kinds of American Airlines airplanes. Nevertheless, this guy is currently making the nonstop service today in from New Orleans and will continue out to Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, of course. The American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the flagship Freedom livery right here is currently loading up with the nonstop service today out to Charlotte after coming in earlier today from Austin, Texas. Very nice. The American Airlines Airbus A321neo is currently loading up with the nonstop service today out to Los Angeles after coming in earlier today on a very long flight from Anchorage. Really cool service right there. I believe this is Alpha 11 maybe. We have the American Airlines Airbus A321 in the standard cancer livery. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, and we'll have a continuing flight today over out to San Del Cabo. Very nice. Currently pushing back, we have the American Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the One World livery. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today out to Las Vegas after coming in earlier from Denver. The American Airlines 737-800 is currently loading up with the logos on the winglet. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in on the shuttle from St. Louis, and we'll have a continuing service today out to Mexico City. Very nice to get to use all these aircraft in here. I know you guys see them a lot at Dallas, but it's still really cool to get to use them in this connotation. Speaking of which, I believe this is like A15 or so. Again, I'm getting used to it, so I apologize. We have the American Airlines Airbus A319 with Sharklets. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Key West. He's gonna have a continuing service today out to Eagle County Regional Airport. Really cool ski destination here at this time of the year. Very nice. The American Eagle Embraer ERJ-145 on the behalf of Envoy Air is currently taxiing out today. This guy has a nonstop service today over to San Antonio, Texas. He came in earlier today, on a short flight from Springfield in Missouri. Very nice. Beginning with this American Airlines McDonnell MD-80 right here. What a unit. This guy's currently making the nonstop service in from Boston and will continue out to Raleigh-Durham in North Carolina. And also feel free to comment below and let me know how much you guys want me to talk, because I know I could go on for hours, but I also don't want to make it too long with these fictional airport updates, so be sure to let me know. Pushing back, we have the American Airlines Airbus A320 with fence tips. This guy's currently coming in from Charlotte Dulles International Airport. He's going to have a continuing service today over to Tampa, Florida. And then loading up right here, we have the American Airlines Airbus A319 with fence tips. This guy's currently making nonstop service today in from Guadalajara in Mexico, of course. He's going to have a continuing flight today over to Calgary. These are kind of where you're going to find most of those international flights. You'll find some throughout the main concourse gates, of course, like I said in that announcement video, but this is kind of how it goes, so we'll keep working with it. A beautiful lineup of American Airlines Chrome airplanes over here. The Boeing 747 SP is currently loading up. This guy has the nonstop service today out to Honolulu, Hawaii. Super, super cool route after coming in earlier today from London Heathrow. So glad to get to use that model. That is really nice right there. Really, really good. The bare metal American Airlines Boeing 757-200 currently loading up with the nonstop service today out to Mexico City. This guy came in earlier from today, from Tegucigalpa in Honduras. Very nice. And the almighty American Airlines Boeing 767-300ER in the Chrome livery is currently making the nonstop service today in from Madrid. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to Paris Charles de Gaulle, going right after Delta with that service. Very nice. The American Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the flagship Freedom livery is currently making the non-stop service today in from San Juan, and this guy's going to have a continuing service today out to New York John F. Kennedy, So a really nice lineup of international services, and we'll find some more over there with the big heavy planes here in just a moment. This American Airlines 737-800 is currently loading up today with the non-stop service today out to Portland. This guy came in earlier from Orlando MCL. Very nice. And a lot of domestic destinations to keep this sector running. This American Airlines McDonnell MD-80 is currently making a non-stop service today in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's going to have a continuing flight today out to Cincinnati. Panning over to the other side, you're going to find the American Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from Miami and Florida, of course. It's going to be continuing back out to Florida, service out to Fort Myers. Very cool. And this American Airlines Airbus A319, this is like probably 14 or so, A14. Sorry about the gates, guys. I need to print the outlay. I just made the itinerary, but I need to print it, so I apologize. Nevertheless, this guy's currently coming in from Nashville in Tennessee, and we'll have a continuing flight today over to St. Louis as well. St. Louis is a very popular service you'll find in many airlines. One of the most popular here out of Kansas City. So much so that Amtrak's actually canceled their train, which is crazy. Nevertheless, this American Airlines Airbus A319 in the America West Heritage Paint Scheme is currently making the non-stop flight today in from Washington Reagan DCA. We'll have a continuing flight today over to, let's go with Portland. Very nice. And I'll show you guys a better angle here in a minute of these heavies with some better lighting. But here we have the three of them right here. The American Airlines Boeing 777-300ER is currently making the non-stop service in from London Heathrow in the UK, of course, and we'll have a continuing flight out to Hong Kong. The Boeing 787-8 is currently making the non-stop service today in from Rome, and we'll have a continuing service out to Dublin. And then we have the Chrome Boeing 777-200ER. This guy is currently making the non-stop service today in from Amsterdam, going right after KLM and Delta on that, but there's a lot of demand on that service. This guy came in earlier today from Helsinki. Very nice. Okay, so that is the mainline concourse right there. Let's take it over into the land side, which will house the American Eagle RJ aircraft. But first and foremost, this Boeing 737-800 without winglets is currently making a non-stop service today in from Fort Lauderdale. We'll have a continuing flight today out to Houston Intercontinental. Very nice. So here is the, I can't talk, I'm sorry. Here's the American Eagle concourse. This is where you'll find all the operations about every subsidiary flights to this airport. Very nice and centralized. And a lot of people get to utilize it. So let's get started with the American Eagle Embraer J-170 on the behalf of Envoy Air. This guy's currently coming in from Cincinnati, and will be having continuing service out to Dayton, Ohio. The the Mesa CRJ-900 is currently making the non-stop service today in from El Paso, having continuing service out to Albuquerque. The Envoy Embraer J-175 is currently coming in from Oklahoma City. They'll have a continuing flight today over to Minneapolis. The SkyWest CRJ-700 is currently coming in from Detroit. It will have a continuing flight for American today over to Greensboro. The Embraer J-175 for Republic is currently loading up with a non-stop flight today out to Las Vegas. I know it's kind of a random one, but there we go. He came in earlier from Colorado Springs. The Embraer J-145 on the bottom right is currently on the behalf of Envoy. This guy's currently coming in from Pittsburgh, and he'll have a continuing flight today over to, let's go with Amarillo. The PSA CRJ-900 is currently coming in from Destin-Fort Walton Beach. We'll have a continuing flight out to Daytona Beach. And the Embraer J-145 in the breast cancer awareness livery on the behalf of Envoy. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from, I'm forgetting the destination, I'm sorry. Dang it, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Milwaukee, there we go. He's coming in from Milwaukee. We'll have a continuing flight today out to, lost it again, Lansing, Michigan, there it is. The Mesa CRJ-900 house livery is currently making these flight today in from Tucson. We'll have a continuing flight today out to Raleigh, Texas. And then we have the CRJ-700 in the very back right there. This guy's currently making a non-stop flight in from Nashville. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to, Knoxville, Tennessee. Nashville has some additional RJ flights as well. It is a bigger city than what the CRJ-700 gives it credit for. The Kalitta Chargers Boeing 727 is currently taxiing out with the non-stop cargo service out to Cincinnati on that turnaround, of course. Very nice. And let's transition into Terminal B. Here's a much better look at those beautiful American Airlines heavies, by the way, as promised. So here we go with the North Pier right here for Terminal B. As you guys saw in the announcement, this is the North Pier and that's the South Pier. Really cool terminal design. It makes that kind of Y shape with the extension that was done in 2016, I believe. So really cool to get to see that. It looks really good. So without any further delay, let's get started with all these Delta planes and some awesome lighting. Beginning with B1, we have the Delta Connection number EarJetts 170 on the behalf of Republic Airways. This guy's currently coming in from Syracuse, New York. We'll have a continuing flight today over to Providence. The Delta Airlines 717 is currently making a nonstop service today in from Detroit, and we'll have a continuing flight today out to Atlanta. The SkyTeam 737-800 is currently making the nonstop service in from Salt Lake City. We'll have a continuing flight today out to Austin. The Airbus A321, the thank you livery, is currently coming in from Boston. Have a continuing flight today out to Las Vegas. And then here is the RJ section, of course. Really cool that the Delta Sky Club is in this North Pier as well, which is really nice. The CRJ-900 is currently coming in from, let's see here, multiple routes. Birmingham, Alabama, and will continue out to Traverse City. The CRJ-700 for Endeavor is currently coming in from White Plains, Westchester. Have a continued flight today out to, I'm thinking where Delta is present with their RJs a lot. Let's say this guy's currently making it out to Minneapolis on a repositioning flight. And then the front CRJ-700 for Endeavor as well is currently coming in from Wichita. Have a continuing flight today out to Houston Hobby. Very nice. Keep in mind, United's also partnering here, so you'll see a lot of routes for them too that are kind of mutual, but also kind of different too. The Delta Airbus A220 is currently making the nonstop flight today in from New York LaGuardia and will continue out to St. Louis. And then the Airbus A220-300 is currently coming in from Salt Lake City. Have a continuing flight up to Portland. The 737-900, sorry, my headphone cord got the better of that, is currently making the nonstop service today in from Los Angeles, and he's going to have a continuing flight today over to Atlanta as well. This Boeing 757-200 is currently loading up with the nonstop service today out to Tampa, and he came in earlier from Fort Lauderdale. I'll get a better view here in a moment, but this is still a pretty good view of the Airbus A330-200. Keep in mind, you got two heavy gates and one narrow, or one heavy and two narrows. But in this case, we got the heavy right here. This guy's currently making the nonstop shuttle out to Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson to keep working on those RJ routes as we talked about in the announcement video. Very nice. The Delta Airlines 757-200 is currently, he made a charter flight in earlier today from Phoenix. And he's going to be heading back to Phoenix as a passenger service. The Airbus A320 is currently coming in today from, excuse me, I'm so sorry. We'll say this guy's coming in from Portland, Maine. I know a very big aircraft for that, but there's quite a bit of demand there. This guy's going to have a continuing flight today over to Raleigh-Durham. The Boeing 737-800 is currently loading up with a nonstop service today out to, let's go with Las Vegas, and I'll have a continuing flight after that over to Mexico City. And lastly, for Mainline, we have their Airbus A319 currently pushing back. This guy's a nonstop service today out to Houston Intercontinental, and he came in earlier today from, excuse me guys, I apologize, Boise, Idaho. Another one just like Portland, but there we go. The two Delta Connection gates houses the CRJ-200, which is currently making the nonstop service today in from Louisville, and we'll have a continuing flight today over to Lexington. And the CRJ-700 made a nonstop service today in from Indianapolis. He's going to be making a turnaround because, yes, there it is. Into the South Pier, this is of course where United parks. This was the original concourse piece, and then the extension happened. So here we have the Boeing 737-700 in the EVA Blue livery. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Las Vegas. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to Houston Intercontinental. Let me come to the other side for some better lighting. Alrighty, look at all those Uniteds, man. I'm so glad to get to use these. So the Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Denver, and it'll have a continuing service today out to New Orleans. The Boeing 737 MAX 9 is currently making nonstop service in from Los Angeles, and it'll have a continuing service today out to Washington Dulles. There it is. The Boeing 757-200 is currently making nonstop service in from San Francisco, California, and is continuing out to Newark. So excited to get to use all those. I have way too many not to get to use as often. The Boeing 737-900 is currently loading up with the nonstop service today out to Cleveland and came in earlier from Tampa. And the Airbus A319 is currently making the nonstop service today in from lost it, had it, I'm sorry guys, Phoenix. They'll have a continuing flight today out to Nashville. There it is. That's what I was looking for. And then, of course, as you guys know, the extension piece was added on here for all the regional jet operations. So let's begin with those. The United Express Bombardier CRJ-200 is currently loading up with the nonstop service today. Lots of RJ routes, I apologize, but let's start knocking them out. This guy's currently coming in from Champaign, Illinois. Have a continuing service today over to Indianapolis. The Embraer EarJetts 145 is currently coming in from Albuquerque. Have a continuing service out to Lubbock. There it is. CRJ-550 is currently coming in from lost it. Dang it. Grand Rapids. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Heading out to Grand Rapids. This guy came in earlier today from Cincinnati. And then the CRJ 700 in the middle is currently coming in from Aspen. Have a continuing flight today over to, I don't think Cheyenne, Wyoming has an airport, but we'll say that they have an airport now. So this guy's heading out to Cheyenne, Wyoming. The CRJ-200 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Colorado Springs. We'll have a continuing flight today over to Grand Junction. And then we have another CRJ-200. This guy's currently making a nonstop flight from, let's see. This CRJ-200 is currently coming in from Tulsa, and he'll have a continuing flight today over to, thinking of another RJ route, I'm sorry, Northwest Arkansas. And then 3 compatible Everett Ear-Dash 175 gates. The first one on your right is currently coming in from Savannah and will continue out to San Diego. And the one next to it is currently coming in from, let's go with, I had it on tip of my tongue and I lost it again. I'm sorry, guys. We'll go with Tallahassee. This guy came in earlier today from, I'm so sorry, guys, Reno, Nevada. There it is. The beautiful United Airlines Boeing 777-300ER currently houses the heavy hybrid gate. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Chicago O'Hare. It'll have a continuing flight today out to Denver. The Boeing 757-300 or 200, excuse me, in the California Herart here livery is currently. I'm sorry, guys, I should have had it on 3x the whole time. It's so much more stable. Nevertheless, this guy's currently coming in from Los Angeles, and he'll have a continuing flight out to Seattle. And the 737-700 is currently making the nonstop service today in from, excuse me, guys, kind of went dead on routes, I apologize, Charlotte, and we'll have a continuing flight out to Austin, Texas. The Stars and Bars Airbus E320 is currently coming in from New Concordia, have a continuing flight over to Charleston, South Carolina. The 737-800 is currently coming in from Houston, have a continuing flight today out to Portland. And the Airbus A319 with fence tips is currently coming in from, sorry guys, I lost it, Mobile, Alabama. That city's grown a lot, we'll say. And this guy has the nonstop service today over to Atlanta. And then we'll get December 175 since we're here. This guy's currently taxiing in after nonstop service today in from, I'm thinking the states north of Georgia. I apologize. I was trying to think of something in that region. I will say this guy's coming in from Nashville, and he's going to have a continuing flight today over to sorry, I lost it. Dang it. I'm so sorry, guys. Dang it. Jacksonville. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. Some of these were not coming to me. But yes, turn will be looking very good. As you guys can see, several gates and a lot to utilize right there for Delta, which is really nice. So with that said, now we'll transition into this takeoff lineup and turn we'll see. Alrighty, here we go. So the American Airlines McDonnell MD-80 is currently taxiing out after a nonstop service in Chicago O'Hare. It's going to have a continuing service today out to Philadelphia. The Boeing 767-300 is currently taxiing out with the nonstop service today out to Los Angeles. This guy came in earlier today, also from Los Angeles. The Delta Airlines Airbus A220 is currently taxiing out with the nonstop service today out to San Antonio, Texas, actually in turnaround, which is quite ironic. The One World 737-800 for American is currently taxiing out with a nonstop service today. We'll say this guy's heading out to Washington Reagan. This guy came in earlier today from Raleigh Durham. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The Delta Airlines 757-300 is currently taxiing out with a nonstop service today out to Minneapolis. This guy came in earlier today from Portland as well. The beautiful One World American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER is currently lining up. This guy has nonstop service today out to Tokyo, Narita. Came in earlier today from, we'll go with Doha. I don't know if that's quite in the range, but Doha I think is a fun route there, so we'll do Doha. So glad to finally get to use the absolutely stunning Virgin Atlantic Airbus A340-600. This guy's currently on short final for 1.5 left. This guy's making a nonstop service in from London Heathrow. What a beautiful plane. I'm so glad to get to use this. This is YouTube vibes for fictional airports all over the place. Man, I'm so glad to get to use this. Really cool. He's also coming in on a little bit higher of an approach due to the taxiing planes underneath. There has to be like, I think it's like 200 feet of clearance. So he's coming on a big drop right there, but he'll have a stable landing. So really glad to get to see that right there as well. Very nice. Alrighty, so here we go with the Terminal C lineup. Of course, this terminal was developed in 2015 and has been a huge workhorse. So really excited to get into all of this, and let's get started here at C1 with the Southwest section. So Southwest goes very strong here, huge focus city, as you guys know from the announcement. They've done a really good job, beginning with their Boeing 737-800. These guys are currently making the nonstop service from Dallas Love Field and will continue out to Houston Hobby. The Arizona 737-700 is currently coming in from Tulsa and will be heading out to New Orleans. Really cool to get Tulsa in there. I love to see it. The Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8 is currently coming in from Nashville and will continue out to Omaha. 737-700 is currently coming in from Milwaukee and will continue out to Atlanta. The 737-300 is currently coming in from Phoenix and will continue out to Austin. The 737-800 is currently coming in from, I meant that was a 300 California one. I'm sorry if I said the wrong plane. This 737-800 is currently coming in from Amarillo and will continue out to San Diego. The Canyon Blue 737-700 is currently pulling in from San Francisco and will continue out to St. Louis. The 737-300 is coming in from San Jose and will continue out to Reno, Tahoe. The Maryland 737-700 is currently coming in from Baltimore and will continue out to, let's say they're flying back to Newark nowadays. He's heading out to Newark. This 737-800 got way off adjusted. I apologize. He should be way up. This guy's currently making a nonstop service, nevertheless, though, from Boston, and we'll have a continuing flight today over to San Juan. And the Lone Star 737-300 is currently coming in from El Paso, have a continuing service today over to Burbank. Very nice. So a nice long extended lineup of Southwest planes. They all look really good. I'm glad to get to feature them here. The Frontier Airbus A320 Neo in the Georgia Paint and Bunning. Of course, they have a large operation too. This guy's currently coming in from Ontario and will continue out to Trenton. The Breeze Airways Embraer ERJ-195 is currently coming in from Charleston after nonstop service earlier from Tampa. They have also Norfolk and Westchester out of here right now. I'm eager to see how they expand. The Sun Country 737-800 is currently coming in from Minneapolis. They'll continue out to Cancun. Only 2 routes for them at the moment. They're trying to add Dallas, I believe. And then into Allegiant, we have their MD-80 currently coming in from Las Vegas and will continue out to Austin. Very cool to get to see those routes here for Allegiant. And the Airbus E319 is currently pushing back after a nonstop flight today in from Los Angeles. He'll continue today out to Fort Myers, very interesting route, and not Puerto Gorda. Here's the Frontier Airbus E321, Steve the Eagle. This guy's currently coming in from Denver and will continue out to Cincinnati. And the A320 Neo Baja the Whale Shark is currently coming in from Las Vegas and heading out to Atlanta. JetBlue also has a very solid presence here at the airport. Here's their Airbus E320 barcode. This guy's currently coming in from John F. Kennedy, New York, and continuing out to Charlotte. Really cool to get Charlotte in here. And the Spotlight Airbus A320 got way adjusted. I apologize. This guy's currently supposed to be making the nonstop service today. Nevertheless, out to Fort Lauderdale after coming in from Cancun. Very nice. Spirit does have a bigger operation, one plane, just one on the ground at the moment here with their Airbus A319. This guy's currently coming in from Orlando and continuing out to Myrtle Beach. In the Hawaiian Airbus A330-200, what a pretty model. This is like probably C25 or so. Sorry that I got a little off track. Nevertheless, this guy's currently coming in from Honolulu, Hawaii, and will continue back out there as well. Here's the beautiful FBO section. As you guys can see, we have several planes going very strong over here. The Phenom 300 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Charlotte. The purple one on the bottom left, by the way, to clarify. Coming in from Charlotte, heading out to Austin, Texas. The 75, it made the service today in earlier from Stillwater, Oklahoma, and he's going to have a continuing service today over to Hot Springs, Arkansas, staying in that region. The 75 in the background right there is currently making a service in from Cape Town, and we'll have, or I'm sorry, not Cape Town. I was thinking of Cape Air, but I was trying to think of their if they had some flights there. I wish it was coming in from Cape Town, but not quite that far. We'll say this guy's heading out to Kalispell, keep him on a longer flight. And he came in earlier today from Boston, and then the Challenger 300 is currently coming in from Greensboro, and they'll have a continuing flight today over to Vance Nice. The FBO is looking really, really good, or the remote stands, I should say, for it. They go very well over here. So the JSX Embraer ERJ-135 is currently loading up after a nonstop service in from, Destin Fort Walton Beach. He'll be heading out to Dallas Love Field. The AHA Embraer ERJ-145, they do park over here, which is really cool. This guy's coming in from Reno on the turnaround, of course. Then the Boutique Air PC-12 made a service in from Carlsbad. It'll be heading out to Greensville, Mississippi. Let me know if you guys think I should add any more cool EAS services at this time. I would love to do that. So into Terminal D we go. Of course, I kept this Terminal D because all the international terminals in the United States, Dallas, Charlotte, Houston, they're all Terminal D, so had to do it here, and awesome looking 24 gate facility. So I'm excited to dive into this. We have several planes to get started with, so let's get started. Okay, here we go. We're starting with the Aeromexico Connect Embraer ER-190. This guy's currently coming in from, let's see here. We'll say this guy's coming in from Cancun on the turnaround service. They have multiple flights, that's why it's on the 190 on that particular example. And here we go, really excited to get to use all these Canadian and Mexico carriers. They're really, really cool. I think this is gonna be an awesome highlight of the update. So beginning with the Aviation Airbus A320, this guy's currently coming in from San Salvador on the turnaround service. Very nice in that previous livery, of course. The Aeromexico 737-800 is currently making the nonstop service in from Mexico City on the turnaround, of course. Looking very nice. Glad to have Aeromexico here. The Volaris Airbus A321neo is currently pushed back with the nonstop service at the Guadalajara in Mexico, of course. He came in from Mexico City. And the Volaris Airbus A320neo, I'm going to do my best on this pronunciation. I think it's, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how I would think I would pronounce it. It's like it's T-I-G-U-N-A, I believe that's how you say it. It's south of San Diego. So you guys know which one I'm talking about, not even going to try. That is the turnaround for him today. The Viva Aerobus Airbus A320, this is just a normal one, is currently coming in from Montreal, I don't know how you say it, I'm sorry. This guy came in earlier today from Mexico City to follow that. Sorry, I got my headphone wire caught. That's the only bad thing about it, but man, it sounds so much better than AirPods. The Lufthansa Airbus A330-300 is currently getting pulled over to the, I'll show you guys that area here in a minute with the heavy stands. This guy came in earlier from Munich and he'll be heading back out there as well. So cool to get to use these heavies. And this one's a beauty from NG Models. Sunwings making their very first appearance with their Boeing 737-800. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from, let's see here, I had multiple destinations. I think I want to go with Ottawa for him. I'm pretty sure it was, I get all these Canada cities confused, so if I get them a little backwards, but I believe they have a pretty good base at Ottawa. So we'll say he's coming in from Ottawa after a nonstop service from Toronto. Swoop also making their debut. What a pretty model with the Boeing 737-800. I'm so excited to get to use these at San Del Cabo at some point, but we do get to use the Swoop 737-800 nonstop service today in from, I wanted to go with, they had the big operation from, I think it was Toronto. Oh, I was trying to think because there was multiple. I think it may have been Calgary. We're going to say Calgary. Could be wrong, but I'm going to say Calgary. I know WestJet has big operations there too, but this is their subsidiary. So surely they're involved there in some way, and I promise I'll get some additional routes written. I thought I would remember them, but I obviously did not, but I was close. So nevertheless, it's all good. Our fellow friends, WestJet, this guy's currently making the 737-800s, making the service today in from Edmonton. He's going to have a continuing flight today over to, they had multiple destinations. Let's go Vancouver. Air Canada is going to really show up here, beginning with the Embraer ER-170. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from, Montreal, and we'll continue back out there. The A220 is currently making the nonstop service today in from, let's go with St. John's. It's a little bit of an oddball, but I thought it was kind of cool, so we'll say St. John's. And the Rouge Airbus A321 is currently coming in from Vancouver as well, and we'll be heading back out there. The WestJet 737-600 in front of you is currently making the flight in from Calgary as well. And this guy's going to have a continuing flight today over to Winnipeg. And they're finally getting to use the Air Canada 787-9. This guy's currently making the nonstop service in from Toronto Pearson on one of the 2 daily 787 services. He's going to be heading back out there here in a little bit as well. Very nice. Sorry guys, I've been reaching across this table the whole time. About lost it there, but we got it under control. Very nice. Just landed 1-5 left, excuse me. We have the beautiful Lufthansa Airbus A340-300. This guy made a nonstop service today in from Frankfurt, of course. He's going to be heading back out there as well. What a pretty plane, and very glad to get to use it here in this connotation, of course. And here is the beautiful lineup at the heavy hard, or not pads, hard stands, layover area, whatever you want to call this. Currently 3 pads right here, and then you could add 1 at the end for a narrow body, but we currently have 2 aircraft over here on the second daily services for these airlines during the summer season. Beginning with Emirates and their Boeing 777-300ER. This guy came in earlier from Dubai in the United Emirates, of course, and he's going to be heading back out there here in about 3 hours or so. The British Airways Airbus A350-1000 came in earlier today from London Heathrow, and he's going to be heading back out there in about an hour. They're going to tow him here in a minute. The BA is going to be, the 380 at the gate over there is going to be pushing back shortly and heading back out there very soon. Speaking of which, these are the heavy hybrid, or the A380 compatible gates. I am so sorry that it appears to be that TUI got messed up. Alrighty, so here we go with all these internationals. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful looking lineup. We might as well just get started because we have several to get started with. So we'll start over here. Currently taxiing over, we have that house livery Boeing 777. This guy's just making some test flights around the area, nothing too crazy, and he's just kind of hanging out. So he is looking super nice right there. I'm gonna get this aircraft over here on the taxiway because, oh my man, that's a stunner. Currently taxiing off runway 15 right, all the way down at the end after using all 8,000 foot. We have the Qatar Airways, Airbus A350-900 in the stunning One World livery. This guy is currently making a non-stop service today in from Doha, of course, and this guy's going to be heading back out to Qatar with the Doha service on the return. I'm very excited to get the A350-1000 as well, but man, that 900 is a stunner. That looks really, really nice. Take a look at that. That is really nice. Okay, back over to the concourse. We'll begin right there with the Aer Lingus Airbus A321neo. This guy's currently loading up with the non-stop flight back out to Dublin today. He's going to be heading back out there here in a little bit as well. Looking really good. Very, very nice to see that. And I'm glad Aer Lingus is going really strong. Maybe they'll start some heavy sometime. We'll have to see. Of course, my fleet dependent, but I'm excited to see where it goes for sure. This TUI may have got kind of messed up on the table, so I apologize. But nevertheless, we have the TUI Boeing 787-9, also the first appearance for this beautiful aircraft at long last. I've been trying to get this thing an opportunity, and I finally have got it one. That's why I love great planes. This guy's currently making a nonstop flight. I don't know too much about TUI, but I believe their hubs are Aberdeen and Birmingham. I'm going to go with Aberdeen. I could be way off, so please comment if Birmingham is better for them, but I'll say Aberdeen. That's probably fairly realistic. I'm pretty sure they have a big operation there, so we'll say this guy's coming in from Aberdeen. The ANA Boeing 787-9 in the Star Wars livery looking stunning. This guy's currently making a nonstop flight today in from Tokyo, Narita, and we'll be heading back out there. Keep in mind, guys, the lighting will transition around, so in the winter, it will look much better on the heavy aircraft in contrast to those narrow bodies on the other side. But I think the setup's really good. Let me know what you guys think about it. Air India's Boeing 777-300ER is currently making the non-stop service in from New Delhi, and he's going to have a continuing flight today out to Stillwater, Oklahoma. If you guys know that inside joke, definitely do some research if you do not, but man, that is kind of funny. So very glad to get to see that right there. That's really nice. And the international carriers, as I said, were obviously lined up by Alliance. So here's Star Alliance. The final aircraft for Star Alliance today is going to be this beautiful Turkish Airlines Boeing 787-9. This guy's holding the pushback for this Delta A321 passing by. This guy's currently making a non-stop service back out to Istanbul after a really solid 2-hour turnaround. Really quick for them. Very nice. Starting with SkyTeam, we have the Korean Air Boeing 777-300ER. This guy's currently making the non-stop service back out to Seoul, South Korea, of course. It's been a very popular service here, and they've done really well. Delta's been getting a lot of passengers over here. They've actually had some really interesting ways of getting over here. I think they're still constructing the underground train from B to D at this time, and possibly C. They're talking about that even as well. But I think they're doing a really good job over here, so I'd love to see it. Very nice. And we'll pan over to the taxiway here in a moment, but we're going to get this beautiful KLM Boeing 777-300ER first. This guy's a non-stop service today back out to Amsterdam, Schiphol, and the Netherlands, of course. That route's been going very well for them, and you love to see it right there. That's really nice. All the way back over here for some inbound taxiing airplanes. The American Eagle CRJ-200 is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Syracuse, New York. We'll have a continuing service today over to, I think it's somewhere that I haven't used yet. Let's go with... Oh, I was trying to think of something new. I got one. South Dakota, Rapid City. There we go. Currently taxiing over on the long taxi around the Southwest Airlines 737-800 Freedom 1 is currently coming in from Austin, Texas, and will continue out to Washington, D.C. I wish I could make a meme. I could try to make a meme of when you land on 15 left and have the quick taxi, but when you land on 15 right and have like a side face, that would be kind of funny. But because it is like a 10-minute taxi probably. It's a very long one. Delta Airlines' Airbus A321 is currently taxiing in from Atlanta today. This guy has a continuing service today out to Seattle, Tacoma. And the United 737 MAX 8 is currently coming in from Houston Intercontinental and will continue out to Chicago O'Hare.
The Japan Boeing 787-9 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Tokyo, Narita, of course. This is a daily service, and let me know if you guys think I should get the 333. Obviously, it's going to be coming to Dallas, so I'm very tempted to, but I'm honestly not sure. So let me know what you guys think. Really on the fence about that one, but we'll see. The American Eagle Series 700 is currently coming in today from Lawton, Oklahoma. It's going to have a continuing service today over to, let's say he's going to be heading to Garden City, Kansas. Yes, I know. Since the lighting and the shades kind of got these aircraft, I will do them from right here. The A380 gates are looking amazing, beginning with the Qantas Airbus A380. This guy's coming in from Sydney, Australia, of course. I believe they're trying to get Melbourne added, so I'm really excited about that. But the Sydney service has been going very strong. It is one daily A380, and man, it looks so good, doesn't it? So you love to see it right there. That's really nice. Icelanders Boeing 757-200 just made a nonstop service in from Reykjavik, excuse me. He's going to be heading back out there as well. What a pretty livery. Really hope to get the Hecla Royal here at some point in the future too. That would be really nice. Emirates' Airbus A380 is currently getting ready to taxi out the 15 left for departure service back to Dubai in the United of Emirates. Really cool service right there, and I'm very glad to get to use Emirates. That is a pretty plane, and it looks really good. And British Airways' Airbus A380, of course, making nonstop service at the London Heathrow. What a classic, man. That is so nice. On the first daily service, in the A350 will be taxiing back in here as soon as this guy pushes back in about, he's going to be pushing about 20 minutes or so. So we'll see him out there here in just a moment. Really nice. Let me step around because I'm sorry this table's really big. Here we go with the 15 right departures. The JetBlue Airbus A321 had taxi all the way around. He started over there on the edge and taxied all the way back down. But he's finally ready for departure. He's first in line. Service out to Los Angeles today. He came in from Fort Lauderdale. The Star Alliance 737-800 for United is currently making nonstop service in from Denver today. He's going to have a continuing flight today over to San Diego. The American Eagle Embraer ERJ 170 in the Envoy Retro livery, of course, or just the American Eagle Retro. He's going to be making the nonstop service today in from Toronto Pearson. He's going to have a continuing flight taxiing out right now for that departure. He's going to be taking it over to... I had it on the tip of my tongue. Sorry, guys. Baton Rouge. Very big aircraft for Baton Rouge, but how about that? The American Airlines Chrome 737-800 is currently taxiing out for departure. This guy has a nonstop service today out to... Excuse me, guys. I apologize. Orlando, and this guy came in earlier today from Atlanta. And, oh, I lost a tire off one of my aircraft, and I put it off to the side. There it is. That's the one that I lost off of. This American Eagle Embraer ERJ 145 is currently taxiing out with a nonstop service today out to Houston Hobby today after coming in earlier today from, I'm trying to think, Grand Forks. There it is. So I'll definitely be working on that tire, though, because that definitely needs to be fixed. So, but now that I know which one it is off of, I can actually work on it. Alrighty, so here we go with the beautiful cargo lineup. Really glad to get all 8 of these gates in here. As you guys know, the 4 gates over here were the original ones, but then they added on these 4, which have been going very, very well. So with all that being said, let's get started with the cargo traffic. A little bit of activity going on, but most of these aircraft are waiting for the morning rush. The UPS Boeing 747-400 has a nonstop service today out to Anchorage after coming in earlier from Louisville. Looking really nice. The MD-11 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Ontario, and he came in earlier today. Quite an abnormal route for such a big aircraft, service to Seattle for cargo at least, which is really cool. The Boeing 767-300 is currently coming in today from Tampa, and he'll have a continuing flight today up to Newark. The FedEx Express McDonnell MD-10 freighter, or DC-10, whichever one you'd like to call it. This guy's currently coming in from Boston. He'll have a continuing flight out to Memphis. And the 757 just arrived in earlier here from Fort Alliance Airport, and he's going to be heading out to Indianapolis. The Primair 767-300 freighter is currently coming in from Los Angeles, and he'll have a continuing flight out to a new Amazon facility, service out to Charlotte Dulles International Airport. This is obviously fictional, keep in mind. Kalita Air Boeing 767-300 freighter. This guy is currently heading out to Phoenix today. He had a service earlier today in from New York John F. Kennedy. And the DHL 737-800 is currently making nonstop service in from Miami. I believe that's Aero Airways, could be wrong. Service out to Miami today on the turnaround. Very nice. Really nice lineup of cargo aircraft. I'm sorry about the GSE. That got moved over when I moved the table back. So, yeah, that flight may be delayed a little bit.
Here is the One World Alliance hangar to finish off our airport update today. I believe we'll have more carriers coming in here, but they wanted to start us with kind of a light debut here. So beginning with the American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the breast cancer awareness livery. This guy's just got done with some routine maintenance, and he's going to be heading out to London Heathrow here in about 30 minutes. He's about to taxi over any moment. The Qatar Airbus A350-1000 in the One World livery is currently getting a full C-check done. So this guy flew in all the way on one of the Doha services and now is doing a C-check. This guy will have a continuing service back out to Doha here in probably 2 days or so. So currently finishing up that process. And lastly, you have the two American Airlines aircraft. The Boeing 737-800 just got the logo on the winglet fitted. This guy's going to have a continuing flight out to Las Vegas today. And then the Airbus A321neo just had the Kodiak retrofit in. And this guy's going to have a continuing flight. He's going to be heading out.
Alrighty, everybody. So that will do for today's Great Plains International Airport update. I'm sorry that it abruptly cut. I don't know why, but the outro clip, I could not find it. So I apologize. But nevertheless, this will do for the format. Nevertheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed my new fictional airport. This is such a cool airport. I'm really excited for all the more applicable details to come here in the future for it. Expect these September and October updates to come, and hopefully November, December, January into 2023. I really like this airport, and I hope you guys do too. Please comment below what your favorite element of Great Plains International Airport is, and just how, in general, how you like the flow of these fictional airport updates. I think this will become a new, really nice commonplace here on the channel, and I hope you guys are excited for it for many years to come. But with all that being said, that will do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.